All right, and I'll welcome everyone to the Annie's Project Education for Farm Women Quarterly Teleconference for Facilitators and State Coordinators. My name is Ruth Hamilton, and let me introduce you to the Facilitator Training and Support Committee, who is responsible for dealing with facilitators. Dr. Carisha Devlin, she could not be with us today. Willie, say hi, Willie.
Hello, everybody.
And Doris Mold, she is the past president of American Agri-Women, and they are just finishing up with their national meeting, so she could not be with us today. Of course, myself, founder of Annie's Project and president of the Annie's Project Education for Farm Women nonprofit, and our director of administration, Claudette Roper, is on with us. So let's go ahead and take a minute to do a roll call here. Give us your name, your state, and years that you are with Annie's Project, and anything else of interest that you would like. Sarah, we will start with you.
Okay, I'm Sarah Hansen, and I'm coming from Indiana. I guess I've been involved with Annie's Project 0 years, just kind of jumping onto it now, even though I've been with Extension about 5 years.
Thank you, Sarah. Melanie, we'll go to you then.
Hi, Melanie Palmer from Syracuse, New York, Onondaga County Cooperative Extension. It's kind of same as Sarah. I've only been a couple of years. I went through one Annie's Project course, but I didn't lead it. One of the other extension team leaders that I work with kind of led the program, and I kind of sat along and watched. So decided to get in on this call just to see if I could pick up anything and learn some more.
Well, welcome, and I'm sure you will pick up something. We always do. I saw Brian come on. Brian Overstreet, are you on with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm with Purdue in Indiana, and I think 2008 or 2007, somewhere back there. It's been a while since I did the first one. I've done 3 or 4 classes, and I'm going to plan on doing another one this winter.
Excellent. Yeah, Brian is one of kind of the originals coming out of Indiana, so we're very pleased that you can make it. Anna Compart?
Yep, Anna Compart. I'm here in Mankato, Minnesota, and have been a facilitator for, I think, 2 years or 3 years now through AgStar, formerly known as AgStar. We're now called Compeer Financial.
And maybe you can give us an update later on that, how that is impacting on you guys up there, because that was a big merger. And, it affected the northern part of Illinois, so maybe later on we can talk about that. All right, is there anyone else who is on? Claudette, she has already introduced herself as the Director of Administration. And so have we got anybody else to talk with? All right.
This is Jessica Kelton.
Oh, Jessica. And where are you from?
Alabama. Alabama.
Alabama. You guys are just in the news all over the place.
That's probably not a good thing.
It's just one of those things. It's just people, why don't you just let Alabamans take care of it? Whatever you guys want to do with that, that's your business.
Well, we can't all agree on what to do with it. So
we'll stay out of the politics here, but just to let you know, we are watching you. Want to see what you're going to be doing.
I'm sure everybody is.
And anybody else on with us then?
This is Willie. I'll just kind of quickly introduce myself, Ruth.
Go ahead.
Willie Hewitt from North Dakota. I served in Annie's Project about 10 years with North Dakota State University. I was a state coordinator for most of those years, and I retired from NDSU Extension a year ago. Now I can serve on the board of directors, and I serve on the training committee. I've had the opportunity to visit several states with training sessions. I really have enjoyed that and learned a lot in that process. And I saw Jessica this summer in Alabama, so it's good to be on the call today.
All right. Thank you, Willie. All right, so thank you very much for saying who's all here. So we'll go ahead with just the updates that we've got up to this point. Virginia, we recently got them trained here. In fact, I think it was last week. Is that right, Claudette? Or early, it was actually early this week that we got Virginia trained. So we are welcoming that whole new
Yes,
group
it was on Wednesday.
Wednesday, so it was really recent. So we welcome that whole new group to us. And see, Willie, you did Oregon here in May, I believe, correct?
Yes, we did. We did Oregon in May, and then Alabama in August.
And then Colorado after that.
In Colorado, yes, we did. The last Colorado was the last one in October.
And then the week before that, I think we had Oklahoma. So we have been working hard to get these states trained. And Jessica, were you at the Alabama training?
I was at the Alabama training, and it was great with Willie and Robin teaching us and training us for getting us ready for hopefully Annie's project classes in Alabama next year, 2018. So we're working really hard to get that in place. We're going to hopefully try to do something like South Carolina does, where they have the conference. I just submitted a grant Thursday, so hopefully we get funded for that to bring a conference style, retreat style.
That would
Annie's
be
project.
That would be great if you could get that done. So good luck on the on getting the grant. See, other states that are going to be offering Annie's project. Indiana, you guys are coming up on the a training. You had one scheduled for November 28th. I think that one was canceled. So we will get that one rescheduled with everyone in Indiana there. And let's see, anybody else, Claudette, that we've got that I can think of? I think that pretty well takes care of it.
Well, there's a South Dakota training coming up in December. There'll be 2 trainings in South Dakota. So if anyone has, a new hire or somebody who wished they'd been trained and you have no need really to bring a training to your state, it's a great opportunity. You can just send them to South Dakota. You can send me an email and I can connect you.
All right, thank you. So 2017 has been pretty busy for us for getting things lined up in the training, getting our certified trainers in place, and then of course all the different state trainings that have been going on. While we've got that going on, there's also going to be a risk management education conference coming up that there's a call for papers and posters, actually. This is a presentation conference. Is everyone on the call familiar with this conference?
No, not me.
So Anna, you've not been to a risk management education conference?
No, I have
Was
not.
this the one that was in Cincinnati last year?
Right, it was in Cincinnati last year.
Okay.
It tends to be reserved for those people who received grants from the North Central or from the Risk Management Education Centers. There's the North Central, there's the Northeastern, the Southern, and then the Western Centers. So whether you have a grant or an application or a partnership through any one of those centers, you would have gotten this invitation. So I'll just share it with you that we will be putting in a paper for the Annie's project. It's going to be April 11th and 12th is the meeting at the Hilton Milwaukee City Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think that city center is right there on the river. It's kind of a nice place, actually. And the goal of the conference is to broaden risk management education programming for ag producers and to encourage new programming efforts and to strengthen existing programs. The call for concurrent session and poster presentations is due January 9th. So as I said, we're going to be doing something with the Annie's project on this one here, and just as much as we can coordinate all the Annie's project related type programming, we'd like to have that coordinated at this particular conference. So any questions on the conference that's coming up April 11th and 12th? Some other dates that are on our calendars right now is the board is going to meet on December 1st, and our primary responsibility at that meeting is going to approve a 3-year strategic plan that the group put in place back in, gosh, when did we meet? July? We had a meeting in St. Louis and did our 3. Go ahead. Yeah, we had our 3-year strategic planning meeting, and so the board will be approving that, and you'll be hearing more about that after the December 1st meeting. We just want to remind everyone to continue to report your trainings that you have for facilitators, and of course to report to us the classes that you have scheduled for Offering Annie's Project. That is so Claudette can get that listed on our website. And I will tell you that we had an article in Progressive Farm magazine. I don't know if any of you have seen that. Claudette sent the link out to everyone, and that has generated quite a bit of interest in the program. They have a rather extensive distribution, and with a readership of over 1 million people, so it was one of those opportunities to really get our story out. And that has generated quite a bit of interest. People are going to the website now looking for classes nearby, so it becomes critical that you do let us know when you have classes that are going to be Annie's project, and get that to Claudette so she can get them posted.
If I could just jump in for a moment. All the time, it's just been busier because of this article. We keep a database when there are requests for a course in your state. Usually I do copy your state coordinator on that response, but I also keep a database. And so when I find out that there's a course scheduled in a certain part of your state, then I look up everybody in that database who has requested for something in your state, and I send that out to them. I promised them I would let them know when there's a class scheduled in your state. And it's very distressing that we don't keep our promise when I don't find out about the class until the day before or the day after, and I wasn't able to keep my promise. So not only do we want to get it out early to advertise for you, but we need to be able to follow through and give those folks who requested that information in plenty of time to be able to sign up for it. So that would be really helpful.
All right, so any questions anyone has for Claudette on that particular topic of making sure that we get our class schedules to her so she can get them posted? Okay, next topic then that I want to talk with the group about here, and this probably is going to impact the Minnesota and AgStar group as much as anybody. In the last few years, Annie's project has moved from a land grant extension-based program into working with other organizations, much like Compeer, National Farmers Unions, and those are the big ones right now that I can think of. But we have worked with groups outside of the land grants in order to deliver on Annie's project. Our philosophy is that good education can come from a lot of different places, and by following our methodology, our program is consistently delivered at the high level of quality that we expect, whether it's offered by a land grant university or whether it's offered by any of our partners that we have developed. And one of them is Compeer. So I'm going to just ask the gal here from Minnesota, let us know, how is the reorganization with Compeer going? Is the merger complete now with that group?
Yep. So the merger was effective July 1st, and with any big merger, we are still working through, coming together from 3 separate teams into one team. But we do have, all of our departments have been reorganized, and we do have specific team members now. So the individual that had been heading up our Annie's project, she was with us for a while after the merger, and she's no longer with us. So the person that heads up that department, her name is Stacy. So she's probably one that I will maybe touch base with after this phone call and just kind of maybe reach out to her and see what her plans are, because at this point I really don't know kind of where things are at in terms of Annie's project going forward. I think it's still something that we want to be involved in, so I don't want to speak too much to what our plans are, because I think we're still trying to figure some of it out.
Yes, and we understand that too. When you go through an organization, there's kind of a shift of power and who's in charge. But at this point, did you not attend the 2014 training that we did in Ames? Were you there?
I did, yep.
Yeah.
I was there.
Right. So actually, I think you're going to be a very valuable asset to Stacy, as because I don't think she, and Claudette, you can correct me, I don't think she has any experience with Annie's project.
Well, I was just getting ready to say that I had talked to Stacy and emailed with her a few times, and Anna, you're right, nothing's really, decided, but they seem very interested in Annie's project, and so we hope to see that to continue. But do be aware that we have talked, and I'm not saying you don't need to call her. I'm just saying just so that you're also in the loop, and we've been passing on requests for courses in Minnesota, as we always have. So we hope that you'll get to keep doing that, because you all have been quite an asset.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad there's some continuity there, so it's good to know that Stacy's in the loop some too. Thanks.
Right. And anything that you can do to help her out with it, especially with your background and experience, I think we would offer you up as a sacrificial lamb here. you can help her out with this stuff, but we'll certainly do our part at our end to work with her to get her up to speed, get her trained and familiar with the Annie's project methodology and all that good stuff that goes behind our scene here. Do I have anybody else on who is not officially a part of an extension land grant? We got Purdue, Indiana, so they're land grant based. And of course, here in Illinois, we work with Farm Credit as well as University of Illinois Extension. Let's see who else we got on here. Melanie in New York, you're all land grant, aren't you?
Yep, that's correct, with Cornell.
Right, Cornell. So you're not. And Jessica, I think you're coming through the land grant. Oh, go ahead.
Auburn, from Auburn.
Auburn, okay. There's too many universities in Alabama.
Well, there's just two, but only one counts.
It's really great for football, too. Willie, could you jump in and kind of address how awesome it is? Now, you weren't there to see it in Virginia. Virginia's training was attended by many different people from different organizations, and I think you saw some of that in Colorado. Would you address some of the benefits to that?
Yes, we did. I was so intrigued with how the training went in Colorado. Brent put this together, and we had about 40 people there, and less than half were from a land grant from Colorado State. Others from various organizations, Farmers Union, some multiple agencies, some human resource people, and it was so obvious that the people who come from different backgrounds, and they all so most were new to Annie's project, but Brent did a commendable job of being front and center of this, and he was explaining how he could provide leadership for the state. He was with Colorado State. They broke the state up into 4 regions, and so each region was going to have somewhat of a sub coordinator. But he offered those positions to Colorado State people. If they didn't want that, he was going outside of Colorado State. So I thought it was so the majority of people there in that training were not Colorado State people. But under his leadership, I think they will do a commendable job of the program. And so this brings me to the thought that each state's very unique, and I think he is capitalizing on the uniqueness of Colorado and the diversity, and not only by the people in and out of the Colorado state, but also regions of the state. They're taking into consideration that each regions of the states are somewhat different, so he's really utilizing the resources that have come to the table to really strengthen his program and make it unique in different parts of the state. So I think they're off to a commendable start. And I think as Bruce already said, that as Andy's project has gone beyond the land grant systems, in states of tight budgets here in North Dakota, our extension budgets are being cut pretty severely. So it's situations like this, I think, where states could reach out to others involved and really strengthen their educational efforts by working with non-university people interested in these programs. I think a lot of folks have something to share for this, and the folks in Colorado certainly had a passion for the program, and they understood it, and were willing to be a part of it. And I think Brent was providing tremendous leadership for his position, but not just to the Colorado State, but to everybody involved. So I think from all the states I've been in, I think this is has the most glaring example of reaching out beyond university to really shape a very effective, dynamic Annie's project program. I think they're going to do wonderful.
One of the things that this kind of a dynamic contributes to the program is stability. So as Anna was just saying, you know, things are not like they were. All of a sudden, there's been a big change. There's a shakeup, and she's not sure. The same thing with extension, like Willie pointed out. You know, they're drastically cutting budgets, and there are some people because of that who are being limited on what they can do. But when you've got more than one organization represented in a state, then you've got a little bit of continuity and people who can help each other. And I'm really excited about what it's going to do.
Can I just share one more thing? I think in this example, unless the board really changes somehow, you know, the structure, I really think that even though we have people coming in from the private sector, states still have one state coordinator, and that coordinator still works within their state, however that shape, however that is organized, to work with Claudette. So there's one unified voice that Claudette's working with per state. It's not two state coordinators, just one, or two sharing the responsibility, but it's a unified program. It's a unified effort. So I think this is a very exciting movement as we see more of this in light of the fact of land grants budgets being reduced in several states. So I think what they're doing in Colorado will just be a model of what can be done to strengthen and to continue expanding this program.
Okay, Sarah from Indiana there. I believe you're the newest one here who, you've not delivered any Annie's projects, is that correct?
Right. I've never been to the train the trainer things before. Just wasn't sure that I was ready to jump on, but I think now the time has come and the demand in Johnson County here probably could fit with the Annie's project. So just trying to start somewhere.
Okay, well, we'll be sure to get you into one of our training sessions then to get you ready for that. Kelly Heckerman, we call it
Heckerman, yeah.
Kelly Heckerman will be getting that arranged, and I know she's got a lot of good background experience, and we'll get some certified trainers there to get that job taken care of there. So I don't know how overwhelming this is for somebody who hasn't looked at the program yet. Were you ever able to participate in any of them?
No, I have not.
Okay, so you have to have the thrill of the experience here. Yeah, I think, Brian, you've had several good Annie's projects, have you not, in Indiana there?
Got a double muted. Okay. Yes, over the years I have. Last year I tried and didn't have enough people, but this year I've already got 3 signed up, and I'm trying to get some of those Colhagen girls involved, but haven't got that done yet.
Well, here's the background story with Indiana and the connection to Annie's project, and particularly Brian there, is my uncle, Annie's brother, moved from Illinois to Indiana to farm northern Indiana by Rensselaer, the town is there. So I don't know if anybody's familiar with that area of the state. But my uncle had 3 boys, and Richard produced a bunch of kids. That's my cousin Richard, produced a bunch of Colhagans out there, and they are actually signing up for the Annie's Project now. And I don't know how many of them are even aware that they're related to the woman for whom this program is.
Well, I haven't got them signed up yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
But there's 3 of the Richard's boys farm and together, and so I know that's I go to church with 2 of them actually.
Well,
so I try to get them involved. So.
Well, you try to work on them. You tell them that I don't even know what kind of relation I would be to them, a great aunt or something. I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, probably, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But you tell them that I want them to be at the Annie's Project there, because that's the blood kin to Annie, for whom this program has been designed for. So, all right. Anything else here that we need to share or to ask about? We've got some rookies on. We've got some people who have been at this for a while. Let's see, Jessica, I'll ask you. You've got the tree with the toilet paper. Is that correct?
Well, we do and we don't, because someone said earlier that we had too many universities in Alabama. Well, we had a fan from the other university who poisoned one of our trees, so our trees had to be taken out and they put in some new ones, and so now you can't throw the toilet paper on the tree right now. They've moved it. They're letting those get established. But that is our claim to fame, is Toomer's Corner.
And it's one of those
and
things.
We are deep into football.
When you're in Alabama, you got to bring a roll of toilet paper with you, and especially if Auburn's involved.
And you have to pick a side. When you're in Alabama, you've got to be either Alabama or Auburn. There's no in between.
Thanks for the warning. Okay. Well, anything else then for the good of the call here today? Well, let me just say thank you to all.
Well, I could add to Jessica. I was just going to add to Jessica that I learned a long time ago from one of my kids that it had to be Auburn.
It has to be Auburn?
That's what I was told.
Well, I grew up an Alabama fan, but then I went to Auburn, and now it is Auburn for me. But my son's an Alabama fan, so I'll let him do what he wants to do. But I guess I could remind him that he was not an Auburn fan anytime he asked for money. But
good for you.
Okay, and I've had a request go ahead.
We've definitely enjoyed working on Annie's project. We've moved along a little slower than I'd hoped to, but we have a steering committee in place, which is represented. We've got people from different backgrounds, some producers, as well as agribusiness council members, the beef organizations. So we've got a pretty good non-extension personnel who's going to help feed and kind of help us determine where we're going to go, what kind of topics we need to have in that retreat. So we do feel good about having those outside voices involved, and it's not just extension that's involved.
I can share one more thing. This is Willie in North Dakota. When I was in Alabama, one of the leadership there, Jessica, one of his things was so perceptive. He said, as educators, we do broadly two things. He said, number one, we inform people. Number two, we inspire them. And I thought that was so perceptive. And he said, Andy's project is more about inspiration than informing. And I agree with that so much. And I think I really thought about that statement a whole lot. And during the trainings I've had the opportunity to be involved in, I think people, wherever they come from, private or university, when they understand the methodology and what Annie's project is about, you can see the excitement build, and that is so rewarding to see. And I think that, so I think whether you're part of university or not, I think there's so many people that can be a great part of making this program so dynamic across the country. Now, I'll long remember the statement from your leadership, your administrator in Alabama. I thought that was so well stated.
And he has been a very big supporter of Annie's project, so we are very blessed to have that administration that is supporting it and wants to see Annie's project in Alabama.
Yeah, he was great. He's a great, great supporter. So happy I got to meet him.
Ruth,
yes.
This is Brian. I think I did. I sent my flyer to Claudette, so she should have that now.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thanks for the reminder.
Thank you, Brian. I really do appreciate that.
And Cole Emke, are you on here with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I have made you the presenter now, as you have requested. Was that your request?
I'm afraid that was an accident. I didn't mean to be the presenter.
Okay. Well,
But I do mean to say hello to everyone from Wyoming.
well, why don't you give us an update? What's going on in Wyoming then?
Things are going really well in Wyoming. We've got a couple of programs scheduled for January, February, up in the center of the state and the Bighorn Basin up in the northwest near Yellowstone. And so it's going to be a pretty good year. One of them is a new presenter, and I think his program is shaping up real well. And one of them has offered a number of programs, so pretty experienced. I should say facilitator rather than presenter.
Oh, very good. You got snow in the highlands up there yet?
Actually, it was snowing here in Laramie, southeast Wyoming, about 15 minutes ago.
You keep it there, okay? Not quite ready for you yet.
I'll do what I can.
Okay. All right. Do we have anybody else who has come on? Thank you, Cole, for your work that you're doing in Wyoming. I know we've had some good responses out of that state as well.
We certainly love the program, that's for sure.
Lori George, I see that you have joined us.
Yep, I'm on. How are you?
I'm doing well. Lori George is working here in Illinois to put on our program for Know Your Numbers, Know Your Options. And I don't know if you've got anything further that you want to share with us on that.
Nope, I believe we have. I don't have anything else on that right now. We are working to develop specific facilitators that will be offering this throughout the state. So I'm still working on that. I do know that we do have a couple of, I believe, level 1 trainings that are coming in January, February here in Illinois. One in Carthage, Illinois, and the other one in Jacksonville, I believe. So we are developing the programs as we try and get them done. So
great.
We're working on it.
And if you would forward those flyers to Claudette then for the Carthage and the Jacksonville locations, we'll be sure to get those up on the website. Or they may already be there?
I think they're already on the website.
Great, great. Okay. All right. And let's see, looking at my list, I think I have heard from everyone then. Anything else for the good of the group here? Any questions that you have? Anything about ordering supplies? We just laid in some new supplies with everyone's, or with our online store from the Idea Source out of Katy, Kentucky, or Katy, Texas. Ugh, get my words right here. So we should be good for ordering supplies for the upcoming season.
How soon do I need to order those before my program starts?
If you give them 2 weeks, that should get supplies there in good shape.
Okay.
All right. Well, folks, that is what I have had to offer today, and I do appreciate hearing from everyone. And good luck, Compeer, in the reorganization up there in Minnesota, and Jessica there with Auburn and your football team. Melanie in New York, I don't know what's going on up there. If you could give us any update before we have to say.
We're just waiting for the snow. No, not really. Yeah, I don't know if we have anything scheduled. I've got to talk with a team leader to see because we did the Annies, it was 2 years ago. So I'm not sure if maybe we'll gear up and get another one in motion for first of next year.
Okay, very good. Would appreciate that very much. And I know the women appreciate it too. All right then, folks. Well, I want to say thank you to all for what you have done to make Annie's Project a success this year. And this is recorded, so we will be posting it to our Annie's Project facilitator website. And again, my name is Ruth Hamilton. I am the president of Annie's Project for Education, and helping with the presentation day is Claudette Roper, Director of Administration, and Willie Hewitt, who serves on the Facilitator Training and Support Committee. So thank you all for attending, and I'll be signing off.